Alright everyone, how's it going? The 2020-2021 deer season here in PA is over, done. So we're kind of just wrapping things up now. We got together here at Andy's place and we're just reflecting over the season, and we're just kind of getting together today, reflecting on everything that's going on. Anyone that followed along this season knows that although 2020 was like a crazy year for a lot of people, I myself personally and my son Hunter had a pretty successful season. Andy, on the other hand, he had a season that really tests you as an outdoorsman, and I'll let you roll on that for a little bit.
It was a rough season. Being with COVID, I've been working from home, so I was able to adjust my hours a lot, where I'd work a lot in the evenings. And I had 54 hunts this season between archery and rifle season, and the only thing I had to show for it was one doe. A lot of those hunts was with you filming, but I certainly spent a lot of mornings and evenings in the woods, and I passed up a couple deer early in the season. I passed up a nice buck down at the farm that I probably shouldn't have in hindsight. Keith gave me some good advice. He said don't ever pass up a buck during archery season that you wouldn't pass up on the last day. So I'll have to take that into account next year. But I just like being out there. I love the whole filming game. It's fun. But I had a really rough year. I do have a couple misses under my belt this year.
That was tough, man.
It was tough. I think I was in my head a lot. Yeah, so it was a rough season. But you certainly had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, it was different. It was odd. I mean, I don't know if I really per se harvested a deer traditionally this year.
No.
Everything this year was very odd. The buck video, which you'll see, I mean, that was as far from being your typical deer hunt as you can get. Suburban whitetail hunting, I mean, it's crazy sometimes how it happens, and that video was wild. I ended up shooting a doe in archery season. We didn't film it. I shot that with Hunter, and I sat on the ground with his crossbow, and I shot a deer at about 8 steps with a crossbow, walked right past me, and I shot one in rifle season.
Yeah, I mean, even rolling back to the spring. I mean, youth turkey season, youth turkey weekend in the spring.
Hunter got his first one in the spring. Nice Jake. I mean, that was crazy exciting. So yeah, he was on a roll this year, and then so he came off this super high with that Jake, and we rolled in the deer season, and he had high hopes, and he was shooting the crossbow great, and we actually got him on a buck Halloween day, and he shot this deer, and he hit it, but like reviewing the footage, it looks like he hit it like kind of up around the backstrap area. So we ended up finding a little bit of meat on the bolt. Couple drops of blood, and we 2 miles I think we tracked that deer.
It was a long ways.
Nothing, and the blood finally stopped. And I mean, that kid, he went from tears of happiness to just absolute disappointment. And but he kept his chin up. We went back out 2 weeks later, same stand, and he harvested his first deer this year. So kid's got his 2020 was great for Hunter. Got his first turkey, his first deer, and we're looking for a repeat this year. He wants to shoot a long beard now that we're starting to gear up for turkey.
Yeah. So 2020 was a great year for Keith and Hunter, not so great for me, but we are really looking forward to 2021. We have some exciting news coming up real soon. We're going to actually change our name. Mm-hmm. The Lord's been weighing heavy on our heart. I had a hunt this season, in rifle season, when I shot my doe that hit me hard, real hard, from an emotional standpoint and my standing with God. I hunted very selfishly this year. Years prior, every time I'd get in the stand, I'd pray. Mm-hmm. And this year, I was just, nose to the ground trying to shoot a deer. All I wanted to do was shoot a deer. I wanted to kill a deer. I wanted to get a shot on film. And I kind of backburnered God. And I had a lot of time to reflect in rifle season, sitting in my stand, not seeing anything. And I said, that day, it was like, I'm putting it in your hands, God. If you want me to shoot a deer today, then great. If not, then I'm fine with that. And that was the day that he blessed me with a deer. So I was fortunate to have some meat in the freezer this year. I was afraid Keith was going to have to shoot another deer and let me pay the butchering fee. But
I actually texted you that one night and said I shot it at Nolan. Do you want it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, really exciting news for 2021. Like I said, the name change. we're teaming up with a company called Whitetail Forensics. So we'll drop the link in the description below. You can go check them out, sign up on their website, follow them on Facebook. Super excited about that.
Yeah, I'm real pumped about that. They developed a camo pattern that, I mean, if you would look at it to the naked eye, like you'd be like, oh, I don't know about all that. But I mean, the research and the studies that they put in and the way it actually works in the woods, it's unbelievable. So we're excited. We were actually supposed to have it this fall, but with COVID and everything, it has just pushed everything back. And they jumped through so many hoops trying to get it into production. So they're going to be launching very soon, and you'll start seeing stuff on our page and their page, and it'll be available. Another thing I wanted to talk on too is, like, with the name change, we really, like Andy said, has been weighing on our hearts, and we just felt like, you know, the Lord wanted us to use our platform and our reach to the people that follow us to do more than just hunt and do that. Like, you know, in our lives, the Lord, family, and the outdoors are, in that order, are the three most important things in our lives. And we felt like we just weren't doing enough to, you know, spread the word of God and the love and the peace that He has and all the promises He has for us. And so we have decided the new name is going to reflect on our love for the outdoors, obviously, but more importantly, our love for the Lord, and also the importance that we feel, us both having kids, young kids, the importance that we feel bringing kids up in the outdoors, and how important that's going to be to the future of our sport. Because it's tough now. Kids want to play video games and they don't want to be out, but you know, you got to get them kids out there. And so Andy actually is the one. I'll give all credit to you. He's the one that came up with the name, and as soon as he told me about it, man, I was like, that's it. I love it.
Yeah. You know, more important to both of us is teaching people about the Lord. And we are living in a pretty wild time.
Very dark world.
Yeah. So if we can just use our platform to spread the gospel and share the love of Jesus Christ, then that is payment enough for us.
Because Jesus is the light of the world. Even the darkness can't extinguish His light. So I don't think enough people know that. And it reflects in the world. So whatever we can do. Yeah.
So like he said, the new name is going to reflect our love for the outdoors, our love for Christ, and our love for our family. And I think, you know, certainly already you've seen the channel go from Keith hunting a lot. You know, Keith started PA Working Class Whitetails, and then I joined a couple years later. But a lot of it was Keith hunting, and then, you know, I had some hunting. Now you're starting to see Hunter, Keith's son, shooting turkeys, shooting deer. I have 3 kids. My oldest just turned 7. Then I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, all boys. So the channel's going to morph into a youth hunting channel.
Yeah, we'll be taking the back seat, I feel.
Whether we want to or not. But no, I want to, and I know you want to. I mean, I cannot wait to see my kids harvest their first deer, their first turkey. So that's where we're going to go with it.
With the video of my buck, we kind of wanted to sit down here and do a little, like, pre-interview to the video, because we feel like it needs a lot of explaining.
Yes.
Because it was chaos to get to where we were at. We were suburban hunting at the one suburban property, and it's just off someone's deck is where our tree stands are, in the middle of a development, and it's my go-to spot.
Yeah.
And last year, same thing. We had Neighborhood 8 in there last year. Just, it's an awesome property, but it happened so fast, and it's just crazy. So we hunted all morning, saw a couple doe. I actually took a shot at a doe, and I missed a shot over her. It happens. And we had climbed down, and I went to check my arrow, nothing. And at that time, we kind of decided, like, all right, we're down. We're going to relocate, go elsewhere. And Andy just had happened to set the camera up in the driveway just to get, like, B-roll footage of us, like, undressing and packing up and rolling out to our next property. And lo and behold, we're there doing our thing, and I'm behind the truck, I think. And Andy goes, hey man, I think I hear a deer. And
I heard something down in the woods. I wasn't sure what it was. But down where this property is, you know, there's a lot of squirrels down there, but when you hear, this is the middle of the rut. So when you hear something scooting down through the woods, we went to check it out.
Yeah, and so the only way to really check it out, where we would be in a position to see the entire woods where we thought we heard said animal run off to, was on the deck of this house. So we literally, I'm pretty sure I'm in like my moccasins and sweatpants.
Yep.
And we just ran up on this deck and creeped out, and there was a buck. But when I first saw him, it's hilarious because he was standing directly underneath my tree stand that we were sitting in 20 minutes prior to.
You know what's going to happen though, right?
Yeah, the second we climb down, Buck's going to chase him up over the hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I saw his left side. And when I saw his left side, I recognized that buck, and I had trail camera pictures. And he was a pretty wide 8-point. And I'm like, man, this is one of the better bucks back here. And at that point in time in the season, with losing Matthew 10-1 property, I didn't know what the season was going to be like. We didn't really have any other shooter big bucks on any other properties that we were targeting. So,
well, I mean, let's be honest. Once Matthew 10-1 showed up on camera, that was our sole focus.
Yeah, I was 100% not shooting a deer unless it was that deer.
Right.
So after that, I kind of transitioned to, I'm just going to shoot the first buck that I see that I think is a pretty decent buck. So when I saw this buck, I'm like, I know that buck. I'm shooting that buck. I guess we'll roll into the video here, and we're going to watch it here so we can kind of talk it through. But we're going to pick up here once we got out onto the deck a little bit.
Yeah, and I will apologize in advance. This video is a lot shaky. I don't know what I was thinking. I had the camera set up on a tripod out in the driveway, and when we saw that deer, I just popped the camera off the tripod and handheld it.
Dude, it happened fast. It was a little shaky. He did pull it together right there at the end for the kill shot, which was great. Yeah. So like now at this point in time here, we're just walking to the edge, and we have not found the deer yet.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear anything. The deer or whatever, the sound we heard running had stopped, and we couldn't find him. So we were just kind of like scanning the woods, looking for him.
I think both of us at this point assumed that he had the deer will run this gully. They'll come down in, they'll go up the other side.
Up into the laurel. We were both kind of thinking he either pushed the deer up into that laurel behind those other houses, or he had cut across the woods and gone across the street.
Yeah. But this is also, down in this gully, there's a lot of deer that bed in there. And these doe had moved in there in the morning, and that was the one that Keith had missed. So the doe weren't in there, and I think he was looking for them.
I think he was. I think he came in looking for him.
Yeah.
So right here, I saw him.
And you can see our tree stand that we were in
clearly
20 minutes before we shot this video.
In my mind, not ever did I think that this deer would walk out, turn, and walk straight up towards the house, to the deck we were standing on. So I'm thinking I'm going to be taking this 45-yard shot at this deer down here at this creek, because I figured he was gonna, the way he was going, I thought he was going to cross the street, just like Neighborhood 8 did last year. So yeah, he's down here for a while.
And it looked to me, when I'm looking through a 3.5-inch screen, but he's looking right up at us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought we were dead to rights.
I thought we were busted. That's why I thought I was going to have to take a far shot, because I thought he was going to try to get out of there and skirt the edge of the property and cross the street. And you thought he actually bedded down at one point in time.
Yeah, I think I said in the video, I think he bedded down.
Because that has happened to us before. Last year at Neighborhood 8, he came in like 60 yards, bedded down for a half an hour, 45 minutes. We watched him lay there.
Yeah.
So here he's getting ready to step into this shooting area. This like shooting lane per se. It was like 46 yards, and I drew. Actually, I think I drew here, but I didn't stop him.
He stepped through that opening too fast.
Yeah. And the next time he pops out, I'm like, holy smokes, dude, he's walking straight at us.
Yeah. there's the shot.
See, I still didn't know he was broken off.
No, we didn't know he was broken off until we got up to him.
He's gonna pile up right there.
Because right there, I mean, if you go back, like right when I get him stopped and he turns and looks, he's a nice looking deer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, dude. He's gonna pile up right there.
I can't freaking believe it.
Holy smokes!
Unreal, dude.
I was so pumped. I was more excited about the fact that it was just the most impossible thinking, like, hunt. Like, I'm on a deck of someone's house,
Yeah.
a parent's house,
Right.
and I just shot a nice buck.
Yeah, I think you go from the ultimate low being we sat in a tree stand all morning in the middle of the rut and we only saw doe.
Yeah, we saw 4 doe. I missed one.
Yeah, and we're thinking, where's the buck? Well, the doe are here. Where's the buck? And then you missed one, and then we're wrapping it up and we're gonna move to another location, and
I
he
mean,
shows up.
it's the rut, man. It can happen. It's just, it's so funny because it's literally, had we climbed down 5 minutes earlier, we would have been gone.
Yeah.
We would have been packed up and out of there, and we would have never known or even heard him run down there. I'm sure eventually he would have crossed one of my trail cameras, and I would have got when I checked him. But
Right.
I would have no idea that deer showed up at whatever, it was like 7, almost 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So that was the craziest buck I've ever harvested in my life. Not the biggest one I've ever shot, but the wildest story ever.
All right, so yeah, that was Keith's buck. Unconventional hunt,
Yeah.
to say the least, but got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So just to recap, going through a name change.
Name change.
Big stuff for us. Teaming up with Whitetail Forensics.
That's going to be exciting.
It is going to be very exciting. And we are super excited for 2021.
Dude, turkey season, man, I'm ready.
I don't know if I'm more excited for 2020 to be over or 2021 to start, but super excited. So give us a like. Drop us a subscription if you would.
Another thing, too. If you got anything going on and you really just need someone to pray for you, please message us directly and let us know what's going on. If there's something we can pray for you guys for, we would love to pray for you guys. We could be your prayer warriors and help you out there. And yeah, 2021, man, turkey season's coming. April 24th, youth season. We'll be in Potter County. Gonna get it done. And possibly an Ohio trip this year. We're not sure. We might be doing a DIY public land 5-day archery hunt. So we got some exciting things looking forward to. Yep, like Andy said, give us a like, follow us, reach out to us if you need to, if you want to, if there's anything going on, and we appreciate all you guys that already follow us.